Today, viewers, you are going to love our guest that we have with us today. Adlan Cruz has amazed audiences all around the world with his musical style and his ability to create unique piano medleys. I sat down, I didn't sit with him, I stood behind him, Ken, as he was kind of warming up a little while ago. His fingers just tickled the ivories. He is so talented and so gifted. You are going to get a huge blessing by listening to him today.
That's right. He was trained as a classical pianist and has traveled around the world picking up ethnic rhythms from countries he's visited. And he combines them with his classical training to create his very own sound. Adlan is here. And welcome back to the program.
My pleasure.
We enjoyed you last time.
For me now.
Yes. And tell us a little bit of your background first. When did you start playing?
I related actually with you because you're going to the mountains. I was from the mountains of Puerto Rico. And I was born, there's a beautiful mountain there right in the middle of Puerto Rico. By the age of 3, I received a little piano as a Christmas present. And I started to go to church with the piano. I started to imitate the songs and the hymns, and that's how I started playing the piano by ear. By the age of 5, I was already taking proper lessons.
Yes. You know, Orlando has become quite a diverse community, and there's a lot of folks here that have roots to Puerto Rico.
Yes.
And so you play over there, you play in South America. Where have you been?
Well, I've been over at least 60 countries, and we just moved to Florida. Actually, it's our home now. But I still travel full-time to Europe and Asia, South America, Brazil, and here in the States a lot.
Let me ask you a question about some of the background music, because our viewers probably were able to hear you, obviously you playing, but the background music sounded like it was orchestral, but was there some organ playing back in there?
There was a pipe organ, there was an orchestra, there was a choir, there was everything.
Is that you on any of that? Were you on the pipe organ?
I did a couple of them, yeah, the pipe organ.
I can't imagine inviting anybody else to do that when you have the talent to do that.
Well, it's when we do it live, I'd rather hire, of course, an orchestra and have them. It's a beautiful sound.
Have them live, but they love you, I'm sure, in all the countries in the world. Adlan, did they compare you to anyone?
Of course, they always compare people.
Yes.
You go to places, and now I have a unique sound. They start comparing to the classics, but they hear me doing something more Latin. They start comparing me to a Latin pianist, so now they're confused. Then the media don't know what to say. Well, they say, well, he has his own sound.
That's right.
Just
Adlan Cruz.
You really do. Now, you were starting to play as a 3-year-old, you said, and then as a 5-year-old taking lessons. When did you really come to know the Lord personally?
I was 12. I know that the Lord had something very special with my gift, and I wanted to serve Him with it. And I had to give Him my life too, not only the gift. And it's even greater to be inspired from Him, but to give Him back the glory. People try to glorify the talent and the gift. I try to glorify the giver of the gift, which is different.
One thing I like about you, Adlan, too, is you do play the classics. A lot of pianists, Christian pianists, they only want to play Christian songs, but you like to do the classics too, because you know I believe all music is inspired from God, and you know you reach an audience that might not listen to a Christian program, but you're able to touch those that really enjoy the classical music, like Beethoven.
Yes, exactly. Even most of them actually, at one point they were appointed to write Christian music for the church. Even though maybe they were not Christian, but someone like Johann Sebastian Bach, he was a Christian, and he's a classic. So maybe you're saying that today's Christian music has been a little bit more pop sound, more contemporary, but if you're classically trained, you're always going to bring that with you.
Well, and then there are lyrics, too, to the popular music that people play today. So there would be words where we don't have words to some of the classical pieces that you're playing. So for some people, it might be harder to relate to classical music rather than contemporary or pop music. But I think the church has done a great job in bringing, I mean, Handel's Messiah, obviously. You know, as you were playing that, I'm singing that, King of Kings, Lord of Lords.
It's timeless. It's timeless.
It is. It is.
I can remember we had it on in Russia, '93, and even the Russians knew the song and knew the words. They were singing in Russian. And
the Russian choir is a beautiful song.
Yes. Yeah, it's amazing, that song particularly, no matter if it's in a concert hall, it just kind of brings you back to our roots with God and Christianity. And because you know He's the one who gives you your talent, and He's the one that gives us all of this music too.
Yes,
to enjoy.
He's my inspiration. So the best way I could do to express and to be a testimony is to talk about Him, but also to express it through music. There are places I don't know their language, like, you know, at least English, but they can't express to me what they want, but at least through music we can be a connection.
How many years did you actually take piano lessons?
At least 17.
17 years,
Yes,
practicing
yeah.
every day, all day.
4 hours, 5 hours.
Can you be sort of a motivator for some of our younger listeners or people who are taking piano lessons right now?
Yeah,
How could you speak to
all
them?
we need is the passion and motivation, like you say. Oh, that's all we need. And once we have that, we have to administrate our time, and just be wise. Administrate your time. What do you use your time for? And if you're in your instrument, piano, trumpet, or even sports, what do you do to make yourself better? You need to have some mentors. You need to have people right after you to tell you what to do and how to regulate your gift. And that's the way I did it. I had 5 piano professors. They recognized the talent early in life, so they were trying to channel what I had.
Did you ever rebel against any of that, or was it always something you embraced?
Not really. I wanted more and more every day.
Did you?
Yeah. For 1 lesson a week, I would have the lesson in 1 day. I would have the homework ready in 1 day, so they had to have 3 lessons a week. So that was I was challenging them more than they were.
So was it your mother that recognized the gift in you?
My mom and dad, yes.
Your mom and dad,
yes.
and so they encouraged you, and you started at age 3. When is it a good time, if you see a gift, like with the piano, to start a child with piano lessons?
Anytime, anytime. Music is a language. So if you hear him saying Dada or Mama, he's ready to take piano lessons or any lessons. Music is a language, and when they realize they have that passion at that age, that's the best time to start them.
Adlan, I love the fact that you use the word passion, because we do need to be passionate about life, whether it's in music or sports or whatever it is, to pray to God and ask Him to develop whatever the passion is. Sometimes we see kids going aimlessly through life because they don't have a passion. What makes you a disciplined person? How you received that passion, you received the gift from the Lord, but you continued on with discipline in your life. What gave you discipline?
When I saw that I was actually making a difference in my group age, I was impressing adults. Maybe I was 12, 13. I thought to myself, I'm doing something different. Why don't I work harder in what I do? And I know I'm going to go far. And that way, I knew I had my mentors and my parents, and they channeled that. But in my life, I found out that music was going to be there for me always. So I wanted to do a good job from the beginning.
What are some of the projects you're working on currently?
Well, I'm back here in Florida, even though I live here, and on a plane. I'm going to be doing this week a concert, Judah Conference, Faith World. Pastor Clint Brown invited me. It was a big honor. And that's the biggest music conference in Florida and here. More than 150 churches come from all over the world, so I'm going to be one of their guests. I also have a new CD coming out too as well. I'm inviting good friends from all over the world. They're great singers, well known in their countries, even from Africa, from Europe, from South America. Pastor Ron Canoli is one of them. He's a good friend of mine.
We love him.
So we're going to do duets. It's like kind of Adlan and friends in worship.
Wonderful.
We're going to do worship songs. Each song is going to be a different singer.
That's great.
It's going to be soon. You could find it on my website. It's easy. It's adlancruz.com.
Well, let's put that up for our viewers right now. I know viewers, you'll be interested in getting a little more information about Adlan and his music and his new CD that's coming out if you go to www.adlancruz.com.